Welcome back to the AB Scout Project. I'm Krager. This is Alpha Bravo, and today we got the Studio Series Megatron. This, of course, is supposed to be from the '86 movie, so looks pretty good. A little bit of bell-bottom jeans down here, but he comes with his gun, his sword, himself in a smaller mode. So yeah, we're not even going to talk about that. Anyway. It looks okay. I mean, I do dig this face sculpt. Let's see if I can get in where you can see it. I do dig that face sculpt. That is a really good Megatron face sculpt. So that's been, above what they've put out, what Hasbro's put out in the past. So I really like it. So again, the gun, just a 5mm peg, and goes with anybody that can use it. Sword. The sword does not peg in, it snaps in. So you gotta kind of pop it in and out because it's got this hilt on it. This, yeah, pretty neat. And 5mm peg for stowage later, or you can, stow it on his back if you wanted to with the 5mm peg. So, yeah. Alright, take that off for now. To the side. Alright, articulation-wise, head is on a ball joint. Arms do what arms do. They stop there because they've got that thing on the top. He's got all that in there. He does have a wrist twist and hands open. The last three fingers are all tied together, but he can point. He can get the point. So, yeah. Have a waist. Now, I do like this. These are actually faux hip skirts. These are real hip skirts, but these are faux hip skirts that actually move with the leg. So that's kind of neat. That's pretty unique. Good bend on the knee. And extreme ankle tilt. So, yeah. And with the transformation joint, you can get a toe point. So that's pretty neat. He's got, all the articulation. He's not lacking in articulation in any way. A couple complaints is that the fusion cannon doesn't quite look right. I'll show you that here in a sec. And the fact that since they gave him a tank alt mode instead of, a gun alt mode, this is a separate part. So we're back to doing the whole siege. We have to stick the extra gun on the back to make him look like Megatron. So, let's go ahead and do some comparisons. We'll start off with the current winner, the New Age Megatron, which I left the screaming face on because I like the screaming face, which has that ab crunch and everything that this one doesn't have. Of course, it's acting like I don't have his heel spurs out, but I do. Anyway, now here's what I'm talking about the fusion cannon. This is what the fusion cannon is supposed to look like. It's supposed to look like a scope. Here you can see they made it look weird. So that's one thing that bothers me about them. Plus the the removable cannon on back, where this one turns into a gun, so that's actually part of the gun. Of course, a little more understated on the Studio Series, where this one is, that's a gun barrel. And like I said, you see the. This is one of the big things that worried me about the Studio Series Megatron was that because they put all the tank treads into the calves, it looked kind of like bell bottoms compared to the New Age. So, yeah, you see, New Age just slight advantage on articulation. I like the head sculpt on both of them. It's just that the fusion cannon on the new one kind of bothers me a bit. All right, let's compare them to the Studio Series Commander Optimus. And you see, he's just a smidge taller. Like, just a smidge. So that kind of bothers me just a little bit, because they should be the same size. And this one was Commander, but that's because he comes with his trailer, accessories, blast effects, etc. Megatron just comes with this, the sword and himself. So, this is also a leader class. So you get about half the stuff. And I think what really limited them was, since they went with a tank instead of a gun, they couldn't do all the extra gun accessories like the silencer, the extended barrel, the rest, the armrest, and all that stuff that made a battle station for G1. So because they didn't go with the gun, they lost out on selling accessories and going to a higher price point. And by making him a little janky because he's a tank, not a gun. So, yeah. Off the soapbox. And just because, bring in the Earthrise Prime. You can see he's a lot bigger than the Earthrise Prime. Yep. Alright, I think that's about it for robot mode. Let's go ahead and look at this tank mode. And here we have Megatron in his tank mode. And it's a passable tank. It's the turret. Yeah, it's not that great. I mean, it's like they went at this with, let's do almost an alt mode and almost a robot mode. They took weird compromises in places. I mean, they went with the siege, put the fusion cannon between the arms for the main cannon. Yeah, you put the gun up there. The sword can stow on the combat port on the side, and there's 2 more combo ports you can use for other things. Or you take the accessories off and put on some of your fossilizers or weaponizers, and yeah. So yeah, the underside of the tank, it's all squished together. You might not know there's a robot underneath there. But yeah, a lot of hollowness there, especially in that front area. Yeah, rolls pretty well, which is something rare. We've got a rolling tank, so that's good. So yeah, turret will turn. Turret will turn. If you try to elevate, it'll disconnect everything. So it's really just a turn, and you can see that's kind of janky because the pivot's in the back. So yeah, a lot of weaknesses here. Yeah, like I said, it looks like they were like sort of tank, almost got the robot mode perfect, and kind of blend in the middle when they're like, could have been much easier if they did a gun. Got the new Edge here. I didn't want to transform him because he is kind of a pain to transform. But you might say, hey, well, that means that the 86 or the Studio Series wins. Like, no, this is a pain in the ass to transform too. So, not as much of a pain in the ass, but it's just not fun. Yeah. Anyway, let's put in some actual comparisons. Bring in the Zeus Heroes Prime. They look pretty good together. Prime looks like he's about to run over a tank, which I think the scale with that is wrong. But again, that's why we focus on robot modes and not the vehicle modes. Yeah. And Prime is kind of a mess to transform too, but yeah. Alright, pull in the Earthrise. And you see, now we're talking closer to what a tank to truck proportion should be. He's still a little large, but otherwise he's pretty close to what it should be. Turn them around, see them together. Yeah. So, not much to say. I am glad we got a rolling tank out of it. It's has some issues. Like the biggest thing is like remembering to flip these guys out at the front. That's one of the biggest problems. That's why I was like, why doesn't it go together? Because you got to flip these out. That's a crucial thing. And of course, I look at the instructions last, so it took me a while to figure it out. All right, let's go ahead and make our final decision. So, is this our new IDW G1 Megatron? And I'll leave them all out like this just so you can see I've got a quandary here. I mean, the best representation of each, of Prime and of Megatron, is the New Age and the Studio Series 86, but they don't match scale. Which, if I match scale, I go to the Kingdom, which the Kingdom is a great mold. It is a great Prime. I have probably played with this as much as I played with the G1 when I was a kid. I mean, it's easy to transform, where the Studio Series takes a while to transform to get here. And then you got the 86 Megatron, which matches size, but has some small appearance things that kind of throw it a little bit. And plus the paint stopping here kind of bothers me. You can see that on the arm where the paint stops halfway through this joint. There's a little bit of drip, and Yeah, that bothers me. But I was like, just finish out the part. Just do the whole part in red. But that kind of, just little things like that are throwing me with the 86, with the Studio Series, I mean. And it's really tough. It's like, I really like this one. This is the Ultimate Prime, but this is not the Ultimate Megatron. I mean, at this point, this is more of an ultimate Megatron. So I'm, seriously considered at this point buying the Dramatic Capture Series Kingdom Prime just so I can get the anime accurate Prime and going back to the Kingdom and using the New Age. I mean, this is actually kind of tough for me. I mean, of course, not everybody can get access to the New Age. I had to order it from, I forgot, but I had to order it from a Chinese delivery place, and to get it over here, and with the tariff situation and all that, it may be more difficult to get a hold of the New Age, but where the Studio Series Megatron is more available, it's just not as good, and it's not a gun. It's not truly your G1 Megatron. So, yeah. The answer is I'm not sure. I mean, I'm just not happy enough with it to get rid of the New Age. But this is like the Ultimate Prime, but the Kingdom, which is still a really good Prime, can match the New Age. So that's a tough decision. I mean, like I said, it's so much decision that's called in my question of primes, okay? So, man, I'm going to have to leave it up to you guys. Just put in the comments, what do you guys think? Because for me now, like I said, I'm seriously considering getting the Dramatic Capture Series just so I can get the anime colored Kingdom and just go back to Kingdom and New Age, especially since the scale on these keep growing. These are supposed to be the same size. He's slightly taller because they had to push the price point. So, yeah, I am at an indecision point. All right, and with that bombshell, let's just wrap it up. And that's it for this episode. Thank you for joining us today on the AB Scout Project. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, ring that bell, and I'll see y'all later.